Hi everyone, happy Saturday. As promised, this is my second video update. This time it'll be on Florence, the second of three Italian cities I went to on my school's midterm break during the middle of October, just a month ago. But before I get into talking about Florence and how great it was, I just wanted to mention that, as I forgot to yesterday, first video, I am really excited to be doing this type of this style now for this blog for the remainder of London, just because for one, it saves a lot of time. Like last night's video only took like 5 minutes as compared to maybe spending half hour writing it, editing, trying to like get the right words. But with spoken word, much more free and just kind of natural. So that's another plus. Another plus would be that I can now do these types of videos perhaps once a week, say on Sunday nights, to kind of talk about my week, reflect upon it, because these next upcoming few weeks left, I believe I have 4 weeks left here, so that's at least 4 videos to talk about just what I'm doing per week in London, because starting tomorrow, I can't believe it, but it's finally here. I'm finally seeing my favorite band of all time, Linkin Park, and at, of all places, the O2. So I'm going with my friend Michael from the program from UCLA. It's gonna be just unbelievable. After really being a fan since their first debut album, Hybrid Theory, in I think like 2000, and me being like 5, and I didn't know what in the hell they were talking about, but I loved their sound. So then, as I got older, it was great to kind of like, oh, okay, I can now definitely understand and relate to some of their messages and their music, but also just like they just have a great sound that just really is unbeatable in my opinion. So that's that. So starting tomorrow, I will probably maybe do an update on this past week in London, because it's been pretty good. I've had a lot of good things with stuff like that. But without further ado, let's get right into it. So we first left from Rome Friday morning. So we spent Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 3 days in Rome, and then Monday morning we had a train ride on Rail Italia, which would take us to, sorry, I guess on my eye, take us to Florence in about, I think, like an hour and 20 minutes time. So Monday morning we checked out of our hostel in Rome. Then we made our way to the Termini to then head to take a metro to the train station. And then once at the train station in Rome, we took a very nice, very modern train. It was great. It was nice seats, everything. Took a nice train ride to Florence. Going into it, the group I was with, we were hoping that the train ride would be a great way to see parts of the Italian countryside. Unfortunately, it was actually pretty foggy that morning, Monday morning. So I only got maybe like 2 or 3 good glances of like of the Italian hillside with the greens and the small little houses, stuff like that. So we arrived to Florence on Monday morning, say around maybe 10 or so, and it was most definitely colder than it had been, much cooler, I would say, than it had been in Rome. Rome had been unimaginably warm compared to where we left in London, because I think we left London on that Friday, and it was like, I mean, the 50s, 60s, and then we got to Rome, and it was like in the 80s. It was pushing, like I was sweating daily. So that was so once we got to Florence, it was very much cooler, maybe in the upper 60s. Still pretty nice though, still pretty great weather. So it felt like Santa Cruz, felt like Bay Area kind of weather. But for Florence, as compared to Rome, we actually had a Airbnb, which was, oh my goodness, this probably will be the best Airbnb I will have ever stayed in. It was unbelievably nice, and what made it probably the best place I could have ever stayed was that it was maybe 1 city block, 2 from the Duomo in Florence, and best of all, from the living room window, which was me and Tony's room for the 3 nights there, we could see the dome just boom right there, clear as could be, and it seriously looked like it was taken out of like a painting. It just didn't look like it belonged there. It just looked unimaginably breathtaking. So so man, whenever I was at the Airbnb during downtime or waiting to go out somewhere, me and the others in the group, we were not on our phones, not doing anything for trying to connect. We just were sitting on the couches just at that view, because I could have stared at that all day. So once we had checked in, we then decided to drop our stuff off, change to warmer clothes if needed, and then we headed out to kind of explore nearby. So we kind of got a feel for what was nearby. We found a few supermarkets that we would come back to. We checked out the area around the Duomo, which was very nice but very touristy. So and then we made our way to the river, which was very nice. So we walked through this one like super nice market area, and then got some nice views of Florence from the river. Following which, on our way back to our Airbnb, we stopped and got gelato, which this was probably the best gelato I had of the 10-day trip. I want it now. I got and I'll post a photo in the photo highlights I'm gonna have, as well as I'll post a photo highlight of the view we had from our living room window, because my friend Rebecca, who lives upstairs, she got this amazing photo of like me, Tamar, Tony, and Bryn all chilling on the couch, and just like, and then she went to art school for a few years, so she is like a photo whiz, so she has this great editing contrast on it, so it looks like maybe like an album cover, which I might use in the future if I ever become a rapper. Um, oh, gelato, yes. So my gelato was phenomenal. I got my first scoop was strawberry cheesecake. It seriously felt like I was eating strawberry cheesecake from, say, the Cheesecake Factory or anywhere else I've ever had cheesecake. I just couldn't believe it. There was just mouth watering. And then on top of that, I believe I had like a something with cookies in it. I think it was like peanut butter and chocolate cookies. I could not believe that this was in existence. The fact that this could be made and that I was eating it, it was so great. So then after we got gelato, we headed back to our apartment, and that's when we realized that, man, we are still really, really tired from Rome, as well as sort of we. I think at this point we kind of realized that we probably maybe not, I guess to put it bluntly, went too hard in Rome. Not with alcohol. I didn't drink at all, but we probably walked maybe 10 miles in 3 days. Maybe, I say more than that, but we just did so much in so little time that we really hadn't like properly rested. So at this point, we're like, all right, let's take a power nap. So we took like a 2 or 3 hour power nap, and then once we woke up, we decided that since we had our own place to with the kitchen, rather than going out and spending more money than we had to, we went to one of the markets we saw, and we got dinner supplies to cook a homemade Italian dinner. So for the first night, we had pasta, of course, but I can't remember which type of pasta it was. I think I bought a package of cheese ravioli, which is my all-time favorite pasta. We got very good bread. I want to say sourdough, and then we got some different cheeses because Tony and Rebecca were cheese experts. Were experts in the sense that they know more than I do, because I just know the cheddar cheese and Kraft. So they got that, and then we got back, and then we all had different roles. Tony and no, Bryn and Rebecca, they were the bread. Their role was bread, so they cut up the bread and then put the cheese on top and then baked it. Tamar and Tony, I believe, were pasta, and I was the biggest role of all. So since let me rephrase that because it's a joke, so I want to get it right. My role was the biggest of all. I was the designated water boiler, which is my forte. I can boil water so well, and I really haven't met anyone else in my life who can boil water like I can. Man, I just get that. It's that right touch on the little knob for heat, because you don't want to boil the water and make it like too hot of a water, because then it'll like make your pasta soggy, or you don't want to boil it not enough so it takes too long. It's like, Austin, why is the water taking so long? I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm trying to boil it right. That was a bad joke. For dinner, this was probably a really great moment in the sense that it was a really nice bonding moment between all five of us. We all had. So if I may, I actually was on bread. I helped with Brandon and Rebecca do bread, so I was the bread cutter, as well as I helped cut the cheese and then baked it. So that was my job. So I did help in that sense. I also did the water. Dinner was really great because it was a great bonding moment, because it was just we all helped in one way or another get the dinner ready, and then we sat around this small table in this nice apartment in this nice city, and it just felt Like we were starting to connect more as friends. It was just a great moment. And then of course, we got there were good talks at the table, funny jokes, stuff like that. But then following dinner, it was still first night, and after eating the cheese ravioli as well as the bread, I got a newfound energy. So me and Tony wanted to go sightseeing that night. So I had heard about this place through the internet, which is very vague, but I think like TripAdvisor. It was the best view of the city at night was to go to this piazza called Piazza Michelangelo, which had added a very nice large scale replica of David. So it's about a 20 to 25-minute walk to the piazza from our apartment near the Duomo. And then sorry, the text. Sorry, I'm getting buzzed. Buzzed like crazy. Sorry, so yeah, 20 to 25-minute walk. Very nice walk because it wasn't very cold, still very cool, maybe in the low 60s. And it felt great to walk and kind of get a different feeling because we crossed over the river, and then once we got to the river, it was a spectacular view because along the river in Florence there were light posts, but they were in a certain way as they like cascaded. I don't think it's the right word. They like outstretched down the whole river, and they kind of like felt like they're going to like infinity. So it's just very peaceful, just kind of very pretty. It's just cascade, very rows of lights that just kind of trickled off into the horizon. So it was very cool. But then we got to the top of the piazza after like a pretty substantial hike up some stairs, and then whoa, the view took me away because I had seen photos online of it, but I did not expect it to be that well. It was just unbelievable because once up there, there was this stunning view of the Duomo, which really stands out in comparison to the rest of the city. Like it really just like is like, what's the word? It's very bold. It's like because the buildings in Florence aren't very tall to begin with. They're not very, maybe like 2 or 3 stories at the max, and then Duomo is just like, so you're like flat, boom, Duomo, and then so it's just very cool sight. As well as you had also and paired with the side of the Duomo, you had like I said, like I just mentioned, the river and then the lights. So it was just like a very just very magnificent view of like all the city lights and then the Duomo. Because at this point, I was kind of like having a moment here because I was like, this is crazy. Like here I am at only age 19. I'm currently in Italy I'm in Florence on a Monday night, and I'm thinking like everyone else back home was either getting ready for work tomorrow, they're getting ready for school, and I'm just like, this is the life. Here I am in Florence, admiring one of the best things from the Renaissance that I had learned about in AP Euro, so being in Florence actually brought back a lot of memories from my sophomore AP Euro days. Because I remember one of the first, I'm trying to crack my thing here. One of my first, I guess memories or like things that I recall a lot about was, I don't know why, it was the Duomo from the Renaissance section of the class in the first few months. It was just, I remember it so vividly because I remember Brunelleschi, I got it right. I think, yeah, Brunelleschi, the dome was very innovative because it was, I'm pretty sure it's one of, if not the largest brick domes or domes in general. And the way he did it, I can't remember exactly, but it was very intuitive architecturally. So that was cool to see. So then following, maybe me and Tony were there for about a half hour at Piazza Michelangelo. We then headed back home. And at this point, tired again, and so we got ready for bed. But unfortunately, we didn't realize, and we didn't learn our lesson from Rome with all the mosquitoes. So we had unfortunately left open the window in our living room, which was me and Tony's bedroom, all afternoon. So unbeknownst to us, or unknown to us, we had let a lot of mosquitoes into our room, and they were up on the ceiling, just waiting to pounce on us. So as we got ready to bed, turned off the lights, went to bed, me and Tony each heard this like zzz, kind of like around us, and then I'm pretty sure like twice in the night, I was woken up by a buzz like right here in the ear. It was like, I'm like, oh, what is that? what is that? And then next morning I was like, wait, and then because then next morning Tony had some bad ones on his face. He had like one here, so I felt bad for him. But I had like a lot on my arm, and it was like, whoops. Like we definitely didn't take precaution on that. But luckily, the next morning on day two, we found some bug spray. So the next night we were able to put on bug spray and not get bit as much. But second day was a very good day. Was a very good day as well. For the day two, we decided to do a day trip to Pisa, which was only about an hour's way by train from Florence. So after getting up, having breakfast, getting ready, showering, all that stuff, we made our way to the train station. And then we got our round trip tickets for maybe like €8 total. So I believe. So it's a pretty good price for a trip out to Pisa. And then for this train ride, it was actually pretty enjoyable because we actually got a lot of nice views of Italy, as well as the train wasn't as fast as the one that we had taken to Florence from Rome. So on this, we were able to put the windows down and really just kind of kick back and relax. It's very nice, kind of like a nice light to medium breeze would like roll through the train, and it was very nice weather, so I very much enjoyed it. But then once we got to Pisa, Pisa was a very nice town. I'd say it's relatively small. Really nothing more substantial than, of course, the Leaning Tower and the cathedral attached to it. So after walking about 20 minutes to get from the train station to the tower, I was once again blown away because like going into it, I knew that it was like, of course, leaning, but when you actually see it, it's like, wow, it's actually crooked. And like there's definitely like a different you definitely have like a different feel for it in person compared to like online photos, because online it kind of looks like, oh yeah, it's crooked, but like when you see it in person, it's like, whoa, it's actually, and then it's like, how did you do that? How is it still standing? And then but because like and then when you juxtapose, I think that's a fancy word I'm trying to use, when you compare it to the crookedness to behind the straight church, it's like, huh. Very cool. But then before we actually got to the area where the tower was, we got lunch, and Bryn, who was a pun master, she wanted to have a pizza party with pizza. So we found a place that we liked, and then we each got our own boxes of pizza. And then we got to the tower, and then we found some steps nearby. Ate our pizza while in Pisa while watching the Leaning Tower of Pisa. So it was just a very nice lunch, actually. My pizza was very good. I believe I got a prosciutto, which is ham and cheese, delicious, and then I got 2 sodas. Me being the soda addict I am, so I was like, great lunch. And then after lunch, we all took our funny photos. And we did the whole shebang. We did ones where we were pushing on it. When we were like we did like some with teamwork, like I would push down, and then Tony would push like away, like hold it up. But then for mine, I had thought on the train I want to do something like very cool. So what I did was, and unfortunately the photo that I will post in the photo highlights after this video goes up is, I wanted to do like a jump kick kind of thing. So I did it, and at the few tries, of course. But when I cropped it for Instagram, thanks a lot, Instagram. Unfortunately you can't see me in the air jumping. So like just in the photo, it looks like I'm just like kicking it, so it kind of looks like I'm like with 1 foot on the ground and 1 foot in the air kicking. But I actually did like a hi-ya, kind of like a jump kick. So I was pretty impressed by that. And then after we took our photos, we headed back to the train station to catch our train home. So another very enjoyable train ride. But on the train ride back, we definitely felt the tiredness of our day, just because we had walked maybe a good amount around Pisa, and then we still were pretty tired from the whole trip in general. Just because that's expected, just because I mean there's really no time to afford to be resting, so we just gotta keep pushing on. But we got back to Florence, and then we went. I think it was around like maybe 6 o'clock we got back. So at this point it's like I don't want to do anything else. So we went and made another homemade dinner, pasta again. I think this time we had spaghetti. And then we were in bed by like 8 or 9 because we knew that we had tomorrow, the third day, a very full day. Sorry, I should have brought water, but can't now. Um, Following the third day was the solo day, just because as day 3 rolled around, we each person. So for me at least, my solo day was because of my toe, which as I'll show you now, I had surgery done on it Wednesday, which went well. So just if I may branch off real quick, I've been dealing with an ingrown toenail sorry, that's my face. I've been dealing with an ingrown toenail that got infected ever since like the middle of July when I was in Argentina, and man, I completely regret being a stubborn idiot for not really going to the hospital until I got back to the U.S. because it's now like almost it's like past the middle of November, and I only recently am now hopefully on the road to recovery, because I got so incredibly sick from my infection. Shoot about water. I got incredibly sick in Argentina for the second half of my trip, as well as I got sick again here in London because of the toe. I had surgery done in August, which wasn't very successful, and it was just a whole mess. It was a mess. So with that in mind, it was mid-October, and my toe had become reinfected. It was definitely hurting again. There was overgranulation on the toe. There was pus being discharged. So at this point, I had emailed my insurance that we have here. We emailed them. I don't hear it mine. I emailed my insurance on like day 1 of Florence, and they got back to me the second night. So I knew that day 3 I was gonna go to the doctor to get seen. And man, we need water, so I apologize. I'm just gonna leave you with a gift I got. I'm gonna leave you with a view of like my backpack and a cow in it as I go get water because I am choking. Sorry. See, this is why I'm bad at video logs, but it's okay. Say goodbye to Jagger the ghost cow. Shout out to Sylvie. Man, I got a cough right now. This is bad. Anywho, where was I? Right, solo day. So I had gotten a visit scheduled with a doctor in Florence. I think around like 2 o'clock. I am so sorry, man. I had a cough. All right, let me catch my breath. With the doctor. Went well. I was able to receive some medicine, some antibiotics to help stem the infection from worsening. Because I knew at this point I was going to need surgery again, just because the nail had regrown into the skin again. Just not to get too gross, but so I knew that I needed medicine to help quell the infection from worsening. So I got medicine. Doctor was a great help. Went very well, and then afterwards, I had the rest of the day to myself, so I went and got gelato. Gelato on the river, which is very nice. And I had a very, very nice kind of like time to think for myself, kind of reflect on everything. So it was very nice as I sat along the river of Florence and just had some gelato. And at this point, I think it was Wednesday, and I was like, man, this is the life. Like here I am Wednesday afternoon. I'm eating some delicious gelato while everyone else back in the U.S. is either at school or they're doing something else like that. So I was like, it's pretty good. It's a good life. Um, Following gelato, I went back to the Airbnb, rested for a bit, and then I bought my ticket online to go. Excuse me. There we go. I bought my ticket online to go climb the Duomo, as well as the Campanile Bell Tower at sunset because I knew that that was something that I wanted to do. So after I got my ticket printed, I made my way to the Duomo and I first climbed the Duomo around maybe like 3 or 4 o'clock, which is incredible because once I got to the top, I just couldn't believe where I was. Like it was like a very surreal moment because I was like, man, this is crazy because like never in my life would I have well more specifically never would I've imagined my sophomore year of high school sitting in Mr. Valentine's class learning about the Duomo everything. Oh yeah, in 4 years time, Austin, you will be on top of that as you are studying abroad in London on vacation in Italy. It's like it's just absolutely bonkers to think about stuff like that. So after I did the Duomo, got some great photos, and then went to the other kind of like high-rise structure, the Campanile, because I knew that I wanted to watch the sunset in Florence my time during my solo day. So after I climbed the Campanile, I think I got the top around maybe like 5, and the sun was setting around like 5:30, I think. So I was there for about half hour, and it was great because I could like I watched the sun just go. This is the sun go. And like mountains. No, other way. I go down behind the mountains. So it was very cool to watch the entire sunset, and it was like and it was spectacular views. It's just a great moment in general. And I think at this point, like I had like a kind of like a mom, dad, I've made it thought. Like I've made it in life so far. Like I'm doing well. I'm doing well. So that's all I can really say. Then after I got back to Camp Neal, I went back to the Airbnb and then met up with Tony, Tamar, Brandon, Rebecca. And at this point, I cannot actually recall if we did make dinner. Tony, did we make dinner the third night in Florence? Um, Can't recall. Because I know we did first, second night, but oh. Talking. Right. Thank you. Oh my God, that's why I can remember. Third night in Florence, we actually went out and met up with my housemate here, Hawken, who's riding solo the entire trip. So he was. So we did Rome, Florence, Venice. He did Venice, Florence, Rome. So we met midway in Florence, and he took us to this delicious restaurant that he had found on TripAdvisor, and it was an excellent restaurant. I got this delicious spicy penne, I believe, and I got this delicious cannoli dessert. So that was probably the best meal out I probably had on the entire trip, just because I really enjoyed their spicy sauce. But once we got back from dinner, it was time for bed, and it was also time to begin our next journey, which was to our third and final destination, Venice, which I will record after I go right now to the store, because I am excited to go to the store, because I, for one, am out of groceries, but two, I'm feeling pizza, and I'm feeling Doritos, and I'm feeling chocolate milk. I'm going to get all three. So thank you for listening to my half-hour rambling, hopefully not rambling, storytelling about my trip to Florence. I hope you enjoyed it. I will now be posting the photo highlights, as well as if you're friends with me on Facebook, there's tons more, but I'll post probably the best 10 that I had from this trip. So thank you for listening, and I will see you guys in a bit.